Para español, presione 1. For English, press 2. Please enter your PIN.
Wow, twin flames. You guys, you're not gonna believe this, but I was gonna wait for a couple of days more to make another video. I promised you guys to make a video about telepathy, but I was gonna wait until the video that I just made a couple of days ago is being watched a little bit longer. And also I was gonna wait to prepare more on the topic, but believe it or not, I have been urged by my organic twin flame to my masculine twin flame to make this video right now. I have so many other, oh my god, it's happening right now as I'm talking to you guys. It's still urging me, even though I have started the video right now, but I guess it's like knocking. It's like such urge to make it, such a nudging that it's not to be ignored. And I will explain how that nudging is happening. But I have so many other things to do, chores in my house, things to do, but I had to quit everything to make this video. That's how much my masculine twin is nudging me to do this. If he was right here in 3D in my room right now, he wouldn't probably make me do it, because I am a pretty much stubborn person. I'm guessing most feminine twin flames are stubborn girls, but we like to have it our way. But he's doing this in 5D. He's doing this telepathically, and it's super strong. I'm telling you, this is not to be ignored. So let's start. Let's start on telepathy. First, let me tell you how my twin is nudging me right now. How's this telepathically working? Okay. Then we'll talk about this form of telepathy. Remember, if you watched my videos last year and the beginning of this year, I talked about sacral chakra guy, a person I labeled as sacral chakra guy. The reason for that was because we were connected through energy that is located in the sacral chakra. Now, we don't have time in this video to explain where the chakras are and how they're positioned in your body or what they are. They're basically energy centers. It's the simplest, shortest explanation. And I made videos about that, so I cannot repeat myself. And that person was manifesting the sacral chakra energy, which in my case, due to previous karmic relation, had to be healed, had to be rebalanced again. I do have to mention that was also nudged by my organic twin, by my masculine twin, to work on myself, on my sacral chakra energy. And I remember when I first made the video about sacral chakra, about meeting him and going out on our first sort of date, I could call it that. There was someone who was criticizing me and left me a comment that I shouldn't be justifying meeting another person just because that I wanted to go out or that I wanted to be with someone. That's not true. That's absolutely not true, because in my case, in my personal life, I was practicing complete and total abstinence for almost a decade, more than 9 years, and I was perfectly fine with that. That was my personal choice, and I'm still perfectly fine with that. But it was for the perfect love, for the unconditional love of twin flames and my journey, and this exact mission that we are on, and mission to reunite and mission to help the planet. is that I decided to follow the instructions by my organic twin, by my other half. And this is hard to understand for anyone. If it is hard to understand by anyone out there, that either means that you haven't really met your real twin, that you may think that you have a twin flame, but you're not really in that type of connection. So you don't understand what that type of unconditional love is. Or you're not that far on your journey. You're just in the beginning, perhaps, and you don't understand that. I'm not saying that what I do on my journey or what I did is a sacrifice. I cannot call it a sacrifice, but it definitely does influence my decisions, this unconditional love and what my twin instructs me through 5D from our higher selves. It is really important to me. So I was not playing some game to justify something to go out with someone. It was ordained. And also I explained that not only my twin was telling me that I need to balance this particular energetic field, but it was universe that was telling me through the dreams that I had, that were dreams that happened before meeting the person that I call Sacral Chakra Guided. I saw him in my dream. Well, not before I met him, but because I already knew him, but I saw him in a dream, and then I followed that entire guidance and made decisions that I did and actions that I did, and not regretting 1%. And that is before I met manifested twin, which is a completely different. It was just completely different type of connection, and spiritual connection, and romantic connection, but also led to different conclusion. And also I'm not regretting. It was extremely hard. There was a lot of downfall, but not regretting any of these steps in my journey. So why I'm talking about Sacral Chakra Guide today is because I have to say that the sacral chakra telepathy that I had with that person was so strong that I could feel in the left side, left of my sacral chakra, not exactly in the, like in the middle of your body, not in the central part. I explained that in the previous videos also, but on the left side, in the area where sacral chakra is, on the left side, I would feel a pull, like energetic pull, almost like a pain. And it was confirmed by that person that in that moment he was thinking of me. He was feeling the need to be in my company, the need to be with me in the same room, to have physical contact with me. So that that was confirmed that it was telepathy, that like physical telepathy, which is basically mental telepathy, but is when someone is thinking about you or feeling their need for you, they miss you, what's the word, they feel they want to be connected with you, they miss you. You can feel that as physical manifestation within a certain part of your body, depending on what energy they are feeling, what energy they're sending out to you, or pulling you to them with. So it was on the left side of sacral chakra that I would feel sharp sensation, almost like a pain. That would be like kind of like a tingling sensation, and I call it pulling because it felt like he was pulling me to himself in in those instances. And every time was 100% confirmed, because I would ask this person in 3D about exact time and what he was thinking about, what he meant to say to me. And I told you in previous videos, if I felt that sensation, then very soon after that I would receive text or phone call from that person. Now, what's interesting tonight and why I am urged to make this video is that since actually 3 days ago, I feel very similar sensation, but stronger, much stronger, on the right side of my sacral chakra. And it's interesting, and I'm definite, and I'm 110% sure this is my organic twin calling. and I'm not sure why sacral chakra, why is he calling me through sacral chakra? I'm really not sure. It could be just loaning and feeling the urge, the missing, whatever, but I feel that I think that the reason why, I don't know why sacral chakra in his case, but I feel that he's pulling this energy and calling me, and it's manifesting in my body on the right side, not on the left side, like where previously I felt that sensation, because then I would think if he did call me on the left side of my sacral chakra, I would think it was that other person, that sacral chakra guy, and I would be confused. So it is the sacral chakra he's calling me through, but he's doing it from the right side of it, okay? And it's extremely strong, that it's very uncomfortable, and it's stopping now as I'm making it a video. That's amazing. It's stopping now. It's like, have you ever had kids? I don't have any kids yet, but I guess if you have kids, or you've seen, if you were, and if you don't, then you were a kid yourself once. When kids want mom or someone make cookies for them, and they're like nudging you. When are you gonna make us cookies? When you're gonna make us cookies or something? When they want something, when they want you to buy them something, when they're pulling your shirt in the store and they're like, can you buy me this? Can you buy me this? It's kind of like that. He's been like knocking on my sacral chakra all day and telling me to make this video about telepathy, and doing it telepathically, so that I'm sure that it's really happening, So, okay, so let's go back to the basics of telepathy, what I wanted to tell you about. There's two categories of telepathy that we have to separate, okay? It's very important to separate. Most of us think of telepathy as a thought exchange, as an exchange of thoughts and ideas between two let's say two entities for now, because there is a telepathy that is not only between human beings, and by that I don't mean aliens or such thing, but well, actually that will be one of the types, but let's just say the telepathy between two separate entities is usually considered mental telepathy, like a mental talk, like a talk between two entities without verbal communication in a 3D, in the third dimension. But that telepathy mostly is not between two human beings, although it can be. Of course it can be. I will explain that as well. But usually telepathy that is mental talk, that is in a form of ideas or thoughts, is between a human being and non-human beings, which could be angels, or they could be what we call in Islam jinn, which is basically what in Christianity would be called evil spirits. or in New Age would be called entities, or um, the uh, dark side energy uh, types of beings that are non-physical, and then they give bad ideas to people. They give them bad thoughts, discouraging thoughts, or give them evil thoughts, encourage them to do something bad to other people, but they usually make them think it's their own idea to do that. You will hear a lot of killers and really people who did some really nasty stuff and bad stuff will say that someone told them to do that. Sometimes they're aware of that, sometimes they're not. They will just do it thinking it's their own idea. And this is explained in Islam, in the Quran itself, as waswas, which means the idea that's like planted in your head, in your mental uh, thought, and then given to you, and then this entity withdraws from you and leaves you with the thought, and you think it's just your own original idea. So that's telepathy between the dark side, between the entities that come from the dark side and that are being planted to a human being. Then there's telepathy between the light beings, the beings of light, the angels, and human beings, and archangels, and even higher, which is called the Holy Spirit, or we call it Ruh in Islam, which is usually it's a gift to prophets and messengers of God, and sometimes regular Joe can get a message from Holy Spirit or Ruh, but very rarely. And be very careful, because sometimes the dark side can be masked as some positive energy just to lead you on, and in the end give you the bad idea. So be careful always, of course. It depends on your spiritual purity, and it depends mostly on the purity of your heart, how honest you are in your spiritual journey and connection with the creator of everything, how much you are connected with the light side. It depends. Are you gonna be uh, are you gonna be can evil spirit trick you or not? Depends, because it can trick you because you're a human being. It can trick you, but you will be divinely protected not to be tricked if you're really honest always with others, with yourself, and with God, with your creator. And then you will be divinely protected by him and by his angels, not to let in other words, they will be basically unseen by you. There will be battle for you, for your soul, between the dark and the light side. Angels will fight for you to protect you from the evil spirits if you're really truly devoted to what you believe in and a good honest human being. So, but you still have to be careful, of course, and always ask for divine protection. So there's that kind of telepathy between angels, archangels, Holy Spirit, the Ruh, with the human being. There can be even connection with God, but it's always direct connection comes from God. You cannot request audience with God. This is most likely not possible, but God can send you direct message, which can come in the dream. And it's very rare, because even the prophets usually got message from archangels. It was translated from through archangels from God and then given to humans. Of course, besides Moses, but let's not go into scriptures right now and religion. Let's just talk about telepathy for now on our own terms. And so, anyways, there's that, and then there is mental telepathy between human beings. It can happen on purpose, or it can be actually practiced, or it can happen by, well, not by coincidence, because nothing happens on coincidentally, but it can happen without pre-arrangement, sort of, like, you know, how should I say that, spontaneously. It can be telepathy usually is spontaneous, like mental telepathy between two human beings. Usually, of course, it's between soulmates, people from the same soul family, but it can be also between you and someone who is actually on the opposite side, who is not your soulmate, who is your maybe enemy or something. You can sometimes hear their thoughts and they can hear your thoughts. It's possible. Then there's people who have this special gift, who can hear other people's thoughts. There's people who are channels, this special gift, and so people can channel, they can channel someone for you. So they're like kind of like interpreter or translator, you know, like when two people are talking, but they're talking in two different languages. One person is speaking one language, the other in the other, so they cannot understand. They can hear, but they cannot understand what the person is saying. So that then interpreter will change that into the language they understand and tell it to them. So that's kind of like channeling, you know. You are communicated by that other person or a spirit, and then that is translated to another listener, and that's how channelers work. So also, oh, I forgot to say, there is a special category of telepathy that I really want to do some more research on, that I'm very interested in, which is telepathy between animals and humans. Animals have, I believe, telepathic skills that have not been researched enough. I have worked with animals this far in my life, almost all my life, and I especially studied animal behavior, but I interact with animals on a daily basis, and I can swear they can read our thoughts. They can hear, they can see the pictures in our head, things that we imagine, things that we plan to do in advance. Like when we are planning things for the day, they can see that in a picture, in some kind of a visual form, and then they can read us, what we're going to do. And especially I'm talking about animals that are close to humans, such as dogs and cats. And I'm not saying that all animals don't have telepathy, but these are like closest to us, so they interact this telepathic skill with us, and they read us as part of their, basically part of their pack, part of their family, their tribe, you know, because we live with them, we share their life, and we share their daily activities with them, and they share theirs with us. So okay, so that's another form that needs to be researched more, that we could talk about. And all of these that I mentioned are forms of mental telepathy, either in the form of words or pictures, like visual or verbal telepathy, that you kind of hear other entities' thoughts. But that is not the telepathy that I want to address here and now, because the twin flame telepathy, although it can be in that form, in the mental form, and sometimes it is, and in my case I experienced that like 2 years ago, when my twin was definitely talking to me and I could hear him, and then it was later channeled through other people, the same sentences, the same phrases, the same words he would tell me, then they were being told out loud in a 3D through the people who channeled him. the sacral chakra guy, the manifested twin, and a few other people that are sometimes in smaller instances channeling my twin. And also, as some of you know, through songs and words, like sometimes he would give me telepathic message, and there would be words and sentences, and then a month later a song will come up on the radio, the new song by some artist that would have exact same phrase, and I would be like, how is this possible? So the channels are sometimes through these artists for collective twin flames, because I'm not the only one who is experiencing those words and those, and that's why we have these lyrics and songs and movies that we can call twin flame lyrics or songs and movies, because they come from the collective masculine or collective feminine. Okay, that's another form of telepathy between twin flames. But again, there's this energetic telepathy that is translated into our own body system that I want to talk about, that I want to address today specifically. And again, I have to tell you right now that finally the nudging has stopped. How do you how do you guys explain that? If this was a physical pain or something, could be something wrong. Maybe I think it's a chakra, but maybe I have, ovary pain or something, because it's kind of in the area of the right ovary, I'd say, physically. But I feel it's not. It's in the physical form of the body, but it's not physical. It's not coming from an organ. This feeling, this discomfort or pain, whatever you call it. So, and if I was wrong, then why did it stop now when I finally started making videos? Because that's what I was suspecting. I was suspecting when I start telling you guys about this, then the nudging will stop, and it did. So that's a perfect confirmation that what I'm talking about is a real thing. Okay, so let's say that, as I said, I feel my organic twin is contacting me for the past 4 or 5 days through this right side area of my sacral chakra, which is the part of the energetic field within the body. In 2015 and 2016, he contacted me. First, I had Kundalini awakening, which was initiated by my twin telepathically. And wow, when that happened, when I had Kundalini awakening, I remember sitting on my laptop in my living room, working on something, writing, and it was so powerful. Those of you who have been through Kundalini awakening, try to remember like a first day when it happened. Oh my God. And especially if you didn't know or didn't expect it and never heard of it, it is so scary. It is so weird. It felt so weird. And in my case, it was so powerful. And may I just say that I never in my life practiced yoga or didn't know anything about this Kundalini thing. So when it actually happened, as I said, I was on my laptop, and well, kind of it happens super quickly, super fast, and that's another part of it. It's just, it strikes you like so suddenly that I left everything, and I dragged myself to a couch, a sofa just across the room. I dragged myself, like I felt like I was gonna faint. It was so powerful. It's like being hit by a high voltage from your root chakra up to your crown chakra. And then, so I dragged myself to the couch, and I remember it was hitting me for, I don't know for how long. The time stopped. This is the part I remember. Basically, I think the time stopped. At least that's how it felt to me. I'd lost a sense of time, just like when I met my twin, when I recognized my twin. there was that like a vortex phenomenon when you lose a sense of time, when all the voices around you stop and you're just frozen in the moment. And like that song by the Clocks, I'm gonna post in the description, everything becomes frozen. And so the time is sort of frozen in the moment of that Kundalini awakening experience. And I'm sure that I didn't just fall asleep, but I basically fainted. I lost my conscience and I woke up. I know I was a different person when I woke up. I was a person with her Kundalini awakened. And that's when the chakra starting showing me the signs of this chakra needs to be balanced, this chakra needs to be, and my twin flame definitely helped me and nudged me which areas need to be still. I remember when he sent me that telepathic message, I sent him my answer back like, are you crazy? Why would you want me to work on my sacral chakra uh, if you're not gonna be one to be with me? And and but it was he was very adamant that I should just work on it regardless of uh, uh, the ways, the means to do it, but it has to be done before our actual merge and our reunion, because it's my problem. It's not his problem. He has his own problems to deal with, his own 5D and 3D problems, and his chakra problems. So that's exactly what he actually messaged me back, like, you have to do that, girl. That's your thing that you messed up before with the karma before. So anyways, after the Kundalini awakening, he started telepathically communicating with my body with the root chakra. The Kundalini, after the Kundalini awakening, I started noticing these telepathic messages being received within the body, within the certain areas of the body. One of them was, as I said, a root chakra, which was really interesting. After the root chakra connection with my twin, he started coming in astral projections, which happened, I don't know, I think about maybe, I'd say 7 times, maybe 8 times, if not more, if I didn't count well. And this was a special intimacy, as this picture says, a special type of intimacy. And I will tell you one thing: the physical intimacy between two people can be great, can be mediocre, can be bad. It can be anything. But I don't know. I still haven't united with my twin in a 3D. So I don't know. I imagine that's something undescribable, probably. But I'm going to tell you one thing. Any kind of physical intimacy is not even comparable to the 5D intimacy that you can have with your twin, that you do have with your twin. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. If you had astral projection of your twin, which is another form of telepathy, where the whole astral body of your twin travels to you and can visit the place where you are and actually be in that well, I'm gonna say between there's an area between 5D and 3D, which is 4D, and it's almost like a 4D form. It's like not fully in a 3D form, but it's out of the 5D form. It's like lower than the 5D, so you can actually feel this person physically, but not physically like a touch, like a physical touch, but you feel their energy within your body. So it's like, it is a 4D, and it is fully ecstatic experience, which is preparing you coming down from 5D, where there's no separation between you and your twin, to 4D, where you merge in this way, and then preparing you for your final 3D reunion. Why is it called reunion? Some people say that separation is illusion. No, it's not illusion in 3D. You are separated in 3D, and it hurts as hell, because it's just like walking with one shoe around. I always compare twin flames with two shoes, and nobody walks with one shoe around. It's just stupid, and it's kind of sad. So yes, we suffer separation in 3D, but it's not the end of the world, because we are not separated in 5D, and this 4D astral projections are living proof of that. So it's just like um, it's just preparing you for the final step on your journey. And what I wanted to conclude with is that there's been reports for the past, I'd say, 3 weeks, as far as it came to my knowledge, is that there's been reports of some twin flames in comments and in communication that they have felt their kicks, like they felt kicks in their stomach. That's how they describe. Some of them said that maybe their spiritual child kicking. Well, people describe feeling of baby kicking in their stomach, and that's telepathy. And many say that that may mean that the spiritual child of twin flames is already like, it's like kicking you, letting you know they want to be born into this world. It's possible, but I believe it's possible because I myself have seen my spiritual child of my twin before I actually met my twin. That's how I recognize him, because you know how sometimes, many times, children look like their parents, like their father. There's like physical recognition and physical resemblance between the kid that I've seen and my organic twin. And I believe it's possible. I'm not saying that this is the same thing, but I believe it's very possible it's the same thing that I've been feeling in my sacral chakra, and that's your twin knocking you. That's your twin letting you know it's almost time for reunion. And this is how I interpret this feeling, and that my twin wanted me to share this telepathy story with you. And this is very important, what I want to say. From the beginning of my journey, since the beginning of my journey, I always considered him the runner twin. Even though I'm not a typical chaser by any means, I call myself a waiting twin, a patient twin. Anyways, I always thought that I was the awakened one, and I am, but because I'm the one aware of the twin flame concept, that I could initiate the telepathic communication between us, but it never worked that way. It's like he has my number and I don't have his. It's always him that gets to me first. And I think that's really important. And please comment and like and let me know if you agree with me or not, because somehow in 3D world, the masculine, it's kind of like the world ruled by masculines most of the time. And in the 5D world, we would expect more equality, I guess. But trust me, it's not that way, because, if you look, we're going to just look quickly in the scripture. If you look in the scripture, Adam and Eve, she came out of his rib. This could be metaphor, this could be actual, whatever. We don't have to go into that. It's the creation, and we don't know, we don't know that yet. We cannot claim this or that way, but that's a scripture, and that means that Adam was firstly created, and then Eve was created as splitting of Adam's individual entity. And by stating that fact, I don't mean that the masculine is better than the feminine. It's just that masculine is just a bit older. It's like physical twins. Like one is born 5 minutes earlier, and therefore has a little bit more kind of say in the way in the way of interaction, and can always initiate telepathic communication with you. And the funny thing is even though your twin is a runner in a 3D, it's the runner twin that initiates the communication and telepathic communication with you. You just have to listen. You just have to open your channels and listen and hear your twin and recognize your twin when he's knocking and calling you and wants to telepathically talk to you, whether it's a mental communication, a physical astral communication, or specific chakra communication. Recognize it and honor it, because your twin has a lot to tell you, a lot to share with you, a lot to download and prepare you for your reunion. Because while you're preparing maybe yourself in 3D and learning, they are also communicating to you. And I remember when my twin first communicated with me was way before I knew him, before we met. And this is it's going to be very interesting to tell you, because first time I had a vision of twin flames, I had no idea what it was. It was way back when I was 16 years old, and I've seen a vision, and I woke up and I made a sculpture that had that vision, that represented that vision of blue and red. Well, it's kind of like a mix of blue and red that was merged in the middle of two heads being connected in two, and two people connected at the chest area and the forehead area, and they were intertwined, and there was like telepathic communication between them. I had no idea what it was. For years coming next, I had no idea what it was. But I realize now that this was at the time when my twin was 7 years old. So basically, he communicated with me when he was becoming conscious being, when he was born and was still a child, but became conscious and alive in 3D. And then, of course, because he lived on a different continent, he was a child, I was a teenager. We haven't met until years and years and years later. And in the meantime, when I got older, I experienced karmic relationship, which I guess he was too young for, or maybe was not experiencing yet. And now he's going through, or has went through karmic experiences himself, because it had to be done. It had to be done in order to come on the same level. And so many of you have the same thing going on. But since I actually met my twin in a 3D and recognized and realized he was my twin flame and started to learn about the concept, he has always communicated with me. I tried. There was times when I tried to reach out to him telepathically, and only way it worked, and please pay attention to this right now, only way it worked was to silence myself completely, to listen to him and just kind of invite him, and then telepathically invite him, and then let him come in first. It never worked that I could just like send him a message first. And I think that's really important to know about the twin flame connection. It's not like, it's, as I said, it's like they have your phone number and you don't have theirs. They can always call you, and then you can call them back. you can reply to them, but they have to be the one to call first when it comes to the masculine and feminine, uh, the telepathic communication. And last thing I want to mention is what happens in a 3D, and what happened to me this week was there was a reading. I will post it below after the song, in the description. There was a reading where very nice channeler, she downloaded a message for for the feminine collective, and she said that masculines are sending message in basically saying, you can watch the video, basically saying that I'm holding my door open for you. You don't have to do anything, just walk through, just be yourself. I'm holding the door for you. And just to tell you that I kind of felt I resonated with that telepathic message through the channeler. And just 2 days after that, I went to a party, sort of an event with of significant religious meaning, and my organic twin flame's parents were present. And as usual, my organic twin flame did not grace us with his presence, but I had a bad reception on my phone, and I went outside of the building to answer my phone, and I saw my twin flame's father walking across the parking lot, and I felt kind of shy, so I wanted to go back in the building, and I stopped the phone call and I went back in the building, but he caught up with me. He caught up with me when I was just reaching down the stairs and getting back into the main hall, and he hurried up in front of me, and he opened the door for me and held the door for me, and everybody stared when I walked in. I had a really wonderful dress on and all that. And I know that my organic twin's father loves and respects me as a father-in-law should, and he's very dear to my heart. But it was such a amazing moment when he held the door for me and I walked in, and that those words rang in my head that the channeler said, I will hold the door for you. It wasn't my organic twin, but it was his father, which is very close. Things are getting closer, I believe, and it's just a proof that telepathy there is true in these things, and they do manifest. And one more thing that freaked me out was, I don't know how many of you remember when I said the mother of my manifested twin has done some spell work on him, and the mother of my organic twin has done some, I'd say, hate work and some kind of like a blockages, negative energy on us in the beginning. And now she's better with me and she's nicer, but she's still not, I can tell she's still not 100% ready for our reunion as her husband is. And here's the thing, while the food was being served, she came over with the lady. We were getting food at the banquet table, and she came over with another lady that I don't know, and she seemed to be in her company, and they were like friends, and she was getting food for her, and she called her by the name. And so my organic twin's mother called another lady by the name, and it was the name of my manifested twin's mother. And that really freaked me out, because I just received message on my social media, even though I blocked him on my phone and my messenger, from my manifested twin 2 days ago, that his mother cannot wake up from her bed. And everything I did was wish that the spell she made on her son goes back to her, to be returned to her. And I still believe that manifested twin, the things he has done, even though I can not get over it. He has done under the spell, under the evil spell and negative energy that was drawn unto him. And so he messaged that his mother has fell ill instantly, and that's all I wish for. I wish for instant karma to go back to the person who is doing evil and wishing evil to other people. And I cannot I cannot tell you how amazed I am that the justice of God is working even on this plane. It's amazing, and I have nothing else to say. And I didn't respond. I didn't say anything to him. It was just confirmation for me that it was that person that was sending evil spells on us. And now my organic twin's mother is in the company of the lady with the same name as my manifested twin's mother's name is. And that's amazing. And it's very super rare name. It's not a common name, so it's super rare. It's a miracle that it manifested that way, so that I can see the light. And if you guys think that my own mother is helping the reunion, if you think that she hasn't blocked the reunion many times before, then you are in for a big surprise. I actually mean to dedicate one of the future videos to the mothers, of the so-called chaser twins, to the mothers that are our mothers. Let's talk about that, or our parents, or our siblings that are trying to block our reunion. So we're gonna dedicate one of the next videos to that. Thanks for watching. Stay on the right path. Stay telepathically connected with me. Many of you are. We think of each other, and then we give each other email messages or communicate through other ways. It's like I think of you guys. I talk about you, and then you suddenly message me or leave me a comment. I have a deep heart chakra communication with you. I have deep heart chakra love for you. And stay tuned and subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking. And God bless you. Peace be upon you. Assalamu alaikum. Namaste and shalom.